Hey guys, so I am finally back with another video, and this one is going to be an exciting one. It has been so long since I've done a video, but I'm back now. So this video is going to be about the time I met the talented, the amazing, the handsome, the funny Tyler James Williams. If you want to hear more, just keep watching. Okay, so I'm going to get into how I met him. So I am a teacher and I work at an elementary school teaching fifth graders. And so I'm always looking for something, some type of program or some type of event to go to help me improve teaching the students. And so I was scrolling on Facebook and I noticed that there was going to be some type of conference called a summit that was going to have Tyler James Williams as the keynote speaker. And it was in Charlotte. So I was like, I need to go. I need to see him also to learn about teaching my students, but also, really to see him. So I convinced my sister to help me drive up to Charlotte because where I live is like close to 4 hours away. So I convinced her, me and her drove up there, stayed the night with a friend, and the next day we went where I went to the event where it's going to happen at. So when I first got there was a breakout session. It was great. I learned a lot about students and how to communicate with them and really build a community in the classroom so you don't have a whole bunch of fighting and outbursts among the students. And then after that first breakout session, finally we were able to see him. So everyone was just piling into the auditorium. I was like booking it, trying to make sure I got the front row. And so finally I got there, I got into the front row. We were all waiting to see him, and there were curtains up, so you couldn't really see anybody behind the stage. So finally, the lights kind of dimmed, and the announcer came up there, and he was like, well, what you guys have all been waiting for here is Tyler James Williams. And let me tell you guys, none of us have seen him like how he looks in person. So when the curtains like drifted apart, everyone was like holding their breath, waiting to see what does he look like in person. We watch him on TV on Abbott Elementary, but we have never seen him in person. So finally the curtains parted and we saw him, and you guys, he looks like a Ken doll. Like his skin was so flawless. The light was shining on his face, and I was like, I cannot believe I'm looking at Everybody Hates Chris, Gregory, and the character he played on Let It Shine. If you know what that movie is, you're kind of the same age as me. But anyways, he did an amazing job talking about his experience with teachers and what teaching means to him. And he gave wonderful and great tips about how the school system really needs to support us teachers, not just give us supplies, but actually give us mental and emotional support, because we go through so much every day with those kids. And then finally, after he kind of gave his spiel and talked for a little bit, he told us that he had to go back to New York, and we were kind of bummed because we wanted him to stay longer. But the lady who was interviewing him was asking the audience, does anybody have any questions, or does anybody want to say anything to him? So I was like raising my hand. She wouldn't pick me, and I was like, come on, I'm like literally in the front. And so she would pick other people. And then finally she told the crowd, she was like, okay, one more question. And I'm like still raising my hand. And so then she's like, okay, your question. I'm like, oh my gosh, she actually picked me. So as soon as she points at me, like the whole auditorium is looking at me, and then Tyler just turns his head and looks at me, and I'm like, don't mess this up. Don't say anything stupid. So I stand up, and he's like staring into my soul. And so I tell him, if I can remember, I tell him that I really enjoy the show, and I feel like it's going to be a show that we're going to see reruns of it later down in the years, and that it's, in my opinion, comparable to A Different World, comparable to Family Matters and The Cosby Show, because of what it's doing for Black American actors and how it's presenting Black Americans in the Hollywood industry and also in the teaching world. And he really liked what I had to say, and he was like, yeah, that sounds pretty good. So I can actually say I met him, I talked to him, because when I was talking to him saying that whole spiel, he was staring at me, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then after that, he said a few words and then he left. But you guys, for me to actually see him and have a conversation just made my entire year. It was just amazing. Oh, but some other stuff I got from the little summit I went to was like a cute little name tag, and then a cute little pin, and then also cute little bag right here. So it was great. So I will always remember this. And this is also something I want to share with you guys. All right, this is the end of my video. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, give me a fun comment if you've ever met him as well. And stay tuned for more videos that I'm going to put out. Okay, bye.
We hear a resounding response from with educators is like, we have to use the term educator because teacher doesn't quite cut it. It's not broad enough. And the more we can show that, I think the more we have a stronger argument to advocate for the resources that you actually do need. You don't just need teaching materials. You need support. And that's what we're trying to shift the conversation on.